Starters ready to be announced on the floor, and this afternoon's game between Menlo College and the Academy of Arts, the Urban Knights and the Oaks, about to take place here at the historic Kezar Pavilion. As we get a look at the starters here, first of all for Menlo College, the Oaks come out with the four-guard lineup composed of Jesney Cooper, Alberta Frisch, Taylor Westbrook, Jordan Rosette, and Jaona Carter. The two players to watch out for the Oaks are going to be Rosette and Alberta Fish, as Frisch is the leading assist maker as well as points per game, having 14 points per game and 2.7 assists, and every other statistical category is held by Jordan Rosette. For the team led by Shannon Spataro in her 16th year at the helm for the Oaks. On the other side of the floor for the Academy of Art Urban Knights, it's Lucia Ravenga, the sophomore out of Madrid, Spain, getting another start here under her belt. Violet Stutz is going to get another start at a guard. The freshman out of London, England, at another guard/forward. It's Alba Rovira Ayuso, one of the leading scorers for the team in stints. She's averaging 8.9 points per game, coming off a 9-point performance last game against Dominican. Closing out the lineup, it's the two bigs inside, number 22, Kira Mitchell, alongside number 24, Christy Ojide Boyko. And this game is really going to come down to not turning the ball over and really successfully rebounding the ball. The size advantage goes to the Urban Knights significantly with those two bigs on the floor, and they're going to need to take care of the ball and clean up the glass if they want a chance to knock off the 6th rank in Pac West play at Menlo College Oaks. The Oaks coming into this season, their first time in the Division II level, previously playing at the NAIA level, reaching the Sweet 16 of that tournament last year. And on the other side, a very hot start of the year for the Academy of Arts, as they went 6-1 to start the season, but they've been 4-10 since, trying to steady the ship, take care of some turnover issues, and really find some success with some of their star players, up those shooting percentages, taking good shots, leading turnovers off, and also knocking down some free throws. Free throws have been an issue for the Urban Knights this year, only knocking down 60% here. In the last matchup against Dominican, it was points in the paint that were really an issue. 22-4 were points off turnover as well. So those 2 points are going to be the key factors here, as the jump ball in the middle of the floor won by Art U as expected with that size advantage. And it's Lucia Ravenga lining it up for the Urban Knights. Hand off to Rovira Ayuso, stepping into a three, wide right, fighting on the floor, ball's tied up, and it's a held ball, and the possession arrow will go to Menlo College. Switch the sides of those possession arrows here, and we'll get our first substitution of the game as the graduate transfer, Amelia Doherty, comes into the game for the first time, replacing Alba Rivero Ayuso. We'll see Westbrook here for a moment, deferring to the baseline. It's Frisch. Over to Cooper. Cooper drives down the left side of the lane, kicks out to the corner, a three-point shot by Frisch, knocked down. First 3 points of the game go to Alberta Frisch, the junior guard out of Denmark. A lot of international talent on both sides of the ball here. The Urban Knights, 4 players from Spain, 2 from New Zealand, 1 from Great Britain, 1 Swiss player, and 3 from the USA. A travel on the driving attempt there for Art U, and Violet Stutz called for the turnover. Anna Fernils comes in for the first time. She'll give Ravenga a breather, and this is one thing you'll expect to see out of the Urban Knights. They play all their players, and they have a deep rotation. That's one of the philosophies from head coach Jesse Clark here in his second year, just allowing everybody to show the opportunity to play ball. And on the other side, a very mainly starting guard minute possessed lineup for Menlo College. Nearly turning the ball over there, but Cooper was there to pick it up. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Off the dribble, the crossover, drive inside, trying to step past the defender, but the hip check there by Violet Stutz. And they're going to call actually a travel before the fact. A very good call from the official there. Typically in those bang-bang plays, it's hard to tell what came first, but the official very clear. Only 3 points here throughout the first minute and a half of play. Looking for their first score here are the Urban Knights. Ojide Boyko dribbling alongside the perimeter, driving inside. The scoop shot's too strong. Cooper with the board. Lob ahead, trying to cherry pick here. An extra pass over the corner. Repositions, doesn't take the three. Now a turnaround inside and a block there by Art U. Sent away by Mitchell, but the offensive rebound and the putback for number 6 in blue. 5 points now for Alberta Frisch. 5-0 the advantage after the first 2 minutes of play for the Oaks, the visitors. And they'll go right back inside to Ojide Boyko, who has her her shot blocked, I should say. Driving down the baseline, lowers the shoulder, and an offensive foul. That'll be the first on Ojide Boyko. After a 2-point performance, only getting 3 shot attempts off last match against Dominican, Art U definitely expecting to try to utilize some of their bigs to capitalize. But up to this point, it is all Oaks here, and a blocking foul against Anna Ferniels. That'll be her first. Fouls, turnovers, and just not clean play on the assists. Those are some of the issues that have been plaguing the team in white. Frisch, driving kick, goes out to Carter. Now it's Coopers, makes her defender miss and knocks down the mid-range J. The first points for any other player, not in number 6 there, and it's 7-0. A 7-0 advantage. That there have been some opportunities for Art U, but unable to capitalize there, and another great-looking attempt. Ferniels leaves it short on the rack. Lob ahead over to Westbrook, and she's trapped in the corner. Nearly had the ball knocked away by the freshman Mitchell. Goes out to Frisch. Alberta Frisch off the dribble, left side down the lane, soft kiss off the glass, too strong. The ball still popped up loose, out of bounds, and the ball will go to Art U. Substitutions will bring back Luthia Ravenga alongside, trying to get the other player on the floor. That looks like Yasmin Safawi, the senior out of Madrid, Spain. So still looking for their first offensive shot to go down are the Urban Knights with 6:40 remaining here in the opening quarter. It'll be Ravenga. Mitchell deferring over to Safawi. Driving down the lane, nearly turns the ball over. Ball on the ground, caught up there. That's a second held ball, and this time the possession arrow will retain with Art U. For a smaller team, this Menlo College Oaks unit is doing a very good job packing the paint and not allowing any clean shots. And a turnover underneath. Too many turnovers already to this point, leading to the 7-0 advantage for the visitor in the Oaks. Frisch nearly has the ball knocked away. Diving, full force effort onto the floor was Ravenga. The ball still live, and nearly getting it along the sideline was Kira Mitchell. Stepped out of bounds on her attempt to save it, however, so another turnover. Turnovers currently 3-1. As we get our first time out of the game, and the score 7-0 here with 5:58 remaining in the first quarter, as the Urban Knights take the timeout to try to drop some offense here on Urban Knights TV.
The Pac-West and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship
by student athletes, coaches, and fans.
We request your cooperation in supporting student athletes
and officials in a positive manner.
Profanity, derogatory comments, or intimidating actions that are
directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, and other fans
will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal.
The Pac-West has many traditions,
but bad sportsmanship
isn't one of them. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a
safe and positive game environment.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Back here at the historic Kezar Pavilion, the score 7-0 favoring the visitors of Menlo College. The Oaks come out and they force 3 turnovers, 2 points off turnovers. That's going to be a big factor tonight. Cleaning up some of that ball handling is going to be something that the Urban Knights need to do if they want to get the win. Number 11 on the year and get back up to 500 against the 12-9 Oaks. A drive inside, a foul in the process, and an and-one opportunity by Alberta Frisch. Frisch now, man, we knew she can be a microwave scorer at times, but already 7 points of the 9 scored. She's responsible for every basket except for the one by Jesney Cooper. And now an opportunity to go to the free throw line to see if she can make it a 10-point advantage here to start. Free throw left short. Her first miss of the night, still stuck at 7 here. 9-0, I shouldn't say stuck because she's obviously the one driving the car right now. 5:36, a drive inside, left side off the glass, a miss there by Yasmin Safawi. And a foul on Kira Mitchell underneath the basket. That's the 3rd on the Urban Knights. One foul on Ravinga, 1 foul on Ojide Boyko, and 1 foul on Fernils. And a continued offensive showcase from the low block, as we've got 9 points now from Frisch. Checking back in is Rovira Ayuso. Instead of the outside shot, she tries to go inside the lane. The former transfer from Fairleigh Dixon. And a scoop shot! Oh, everything but the basket there. Violet Stutz, however, an opportunity to go to the free throw line to finally break open the goose egg as RU trails 11-0. The foul will go against Frisch. That'll be the first on Menlo College, and that'll be the first on Frisch. And the first free throw swirls down. The first points of the game for RU come right at the midpoint of the first quarter. It's a 10-point game pending the second free throw. And a nice move inside by the freshman out of London, England, as she's able to capitalize on both the free throw attempts to make it 11-2. Visitors with the lead, and they continue to force feed Frisch. Inside, the shot blocked away. Westbrook had the shot blocked. Rivera Ayuso doesn't take the 3 in transition. Instead, it's back over to the freshman in Stutz. And Stutz has the ball blocked away from behind. Rosette was there, her 25th block of the year. Ping-ponged around, out to the corner. Frisch, too strong on that attempt. Rebound, Rivera Ayuso. Stutz inside, the flying layup missed. Gets knocked down again. And that's how you get yourself back into the game. Violet Stutz coming in, a 52% free throw shooter, knocked down her first 2. But these are how you get some good opportunities here as we see the first substitutions by Menlo College. Taylor Westbrook will check out. In comes the freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona, and Zoe Carrillo. And nothing but net on the free throw attempt. 3 points now for Stutz. Here on Women's Empowerment Day, a nice intimate scenery. Second free throw is missed, however, 3 for 4 in the afternoon now. Frisch behind the back with the dribble. Now to the corner. Cooper dribbling around the arc there, nearly gets fouled, has the ball knocked away, and a good steal there by Rovira Ayuso. A push ahead for Stutz. And Stutz again to the left side of the block. Oh, can continue not to finish, however. Cooper cleaned up the glass. It's just the trend of what we've been seeing. Packing the paint for Menlo College. some decent opportunities at the rack, but just unable to get it over the hoop and in. Luthia Ruvenga coming in, replacing Violet Stutz. So all the offense has come from number 2 and White up to this point. After this defensive stop, potentially, that'll be an interesting opportunity as the third jump ball here. Rivera Ayuso got hit in the neck momentarily. No flagrant, of course, as it was not really much there. And changed the possession arrow after the held ball. It's 11-3. Ball back over to the hands of Frisch. Out to the corner. It's Carter. Carter steps into a 3, leaves it short. Rebound by Kira Mitchell. Rivera Ayuso, a transition 3-point shot. Front of the iron, miss, collected by Carter. Carter dribbling in transition, has the ball knocked away and turned over. Good hands by Mitchell, getting the steal. Another opportunity here by Rivera Ayuso, doesn't take the 3, instead stops at the left elbow. And instead, the running hook hits every part of the rim, unable to get it cleanly in, however. Offensive rebound there by Safawi. Safawi misses point blank once more. 0 for 8 are how the Urban Knights start this one. All 3 points coming from the free throw line. The corner 3, no good for the Oaks, and Safawi able to collect it. 2 players here for Menlo College right in front of us here at the scorer's table. 1 for the Urban Knights. Mitchell, ball above her head. Over to Ravenga. Ravenga looking to the wing. Rivera Ayuso, a drive inside, collects the contact, gets the shot up, and another 2 opportunities from the free throw line. This is where the Urban Knights have been living. We'll get you a reset of this lineup here, as Williams is set to check in for RU after this free throw. On the floor now for Menlo College, it'll be Rosette alongside Carter. She's joined by Hunter. First free throw is missed. Zoe Carrillo still in there. And the last player on the floor is McGuyan Applewhite. Both of the free throws missed there by Rivera Ayuso. So the score sits here at 11-3. It's a 9-point advantage for the Oaks. Rivera Ayuso, after the 2 missed free throws, checks out. And the redshirt freshman out of Christchurch, New Zealand. It's Williams coming in. Continuing to attack inside and kick out. This time covered well by the defensive RU. Out to the corner, rattling out. Safawi's been a rebounding machine there, but she has the ball poked away as she tries to clear it up. The steal and the bucket by the junior Applewhite. Those are her first 2 points, and it's back to a 10-point advantage for the Oaks. Nearly knocked away. Williams was able to get it. Ravenga, drive down the right side of the lane, a step inside, and continuing to miss from the point-blank position. A cherry pick ahead for Hunter. Hunter avoids the defender and puts up the 6-foot shot. Alea Hunter, the senior guard out of Fife, Washington. A very good outside shooter at 41%. Able to get the work done inside. And the first basket finally comes at the 125-minute mark. And it's Williams striping down the 3. 15-6 is our score here. A 9-point advantage for Menlo College. Jonah Carter, drive and drop off. The hands weren't ready there by Carrillo. And Zoe Carrillo called for the turnover. Turnovers at this point. 3 on Menlo College, 4 on the Urban Knights. So despite the fact that it was a 1-3 advantage favoring Menlo College, they're starting to turn the ball over quite a bit, and more opportunities for RU to try to claw their way back into this one. Still very early in the game with 57 seconds remaining. Swing pass over to the corner. It's a corner 3 for Williams this time, off the side of the iron. Ball tipped up in the air, and it's picked up by Maddie Morrow. Morrow, a terrific outside shooter. Wanted the ball, but the ball was knocked away. Ojide Boyko able to get inside and feed it to the block. Safawi out to the top of the key. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Ping pong inside. Shots blocked right at the block by Menlo College as Ojide Boyko wasn't able to cleanly get it there. And off the fingertips now of Menlo, it was Jaona Carter who could not retain the possession. So with 25 seconds left, the shot clock will turn off and an opportunity to get one more shot off here, trailing by 9 points in the opening quarter. Are the home team in the Urban Knights. Offense coming from Violet Stutz and Williams for the Urban Knights. Ravenga will actually reset the shot clock over to 15 now, so it'll be a 5-second shot clock, game clock difference. Maddie Morrow, handoff over to Safawi, and an illegal screen and offensive foul by the freshman out of New Zealand, the sophomore out of New Zealand. And Morrow, unfortunately, with the offensive turnover for the Urban Knights. An opportunity to get one more shot here, and we'll get a substitution as Harper Felch comes in, replacing Maddie Morrow. Felch coming in these defensive-specific situations alongside Amelia Doherty as she replaces Luthir Ravenga. And a three-quarter court pressure with the single woman press. It's Felch playing the defense. Over to Rosette. Carter has the hip check. And the defensive foul will go against Christy Ojide Boyko. That's her second. And with that, with 2 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, Menlo College gets into the bonus. And an opportunity to try to bring it back up into double digits for the Oaks. First one drops in. Jaona Carter, the junior guard out of Oakland, the transfer from San Mateo College. Able to knock down both of them. She's been a great addition to this team at the first time at the Division II level. Coming off a performance of 14 points, playing all 40 minutes in the last matchup. Didn't have much of an impact in the first matchup between RU and Menlo College as the half-court basket rattles out by Amelia Doherty. And so at that, it's an 11-point advantage. It's 17-6 after the first quarter of play as the Menlo College Oaks with the advantage over the Academy of Art Urban Knights here on Urban Knights TV. An 11-point advantage for the Menlo College Oaks here as the 12-9 sixth-place team in the Pac West has the lead over the home team in the Academy of Art Urban Knights. As of this point, the game has felt pretty even in terms of performance. The biggest difference in this whole entire situation is the inability for RU to finish at the hoop tonight. 1 for 15 in the opening quarter, only shooting 7% to the 50%. The opportunities have been there. The defense has been playing fairly well, but just too many point-blank misses for the Urban Knights. And too many turnovers in that regard as Kira Mitchell, pardon me, that was actually Yasmin Safawi, moves her foot on the post move. Stutz, the player who got the offense going at the 5-minute mark for ArtU, comes back in. McGeehan Applewood back on the floor. She passes to Leah Hunter. Now it's Rosette, who's been held off the board up to this point, and the right elbow jumper is missed. Lob inside over to her big. Lowers the shoulder, tries to kiss it off the glass. Unable to do so successfully. Yasmin Safawi, known as a pretty good post presence. But once again, just the inopportune finishes. Everything is there except for the basket for the team in white. 17-6. A drive inside by Carter. Too strong. Bumped off, and it's last touched off the fingertips of Yasmin Safawi as she knocked it off the hands of Zoe Carrillo. Taking care of the ball, the fundamentals, and finishing at the rack were some of my pointers at the beginning of the game. And those are some of the issues that are really burdening ArtU right now. Doing a good job in the block department as Mitchell got the block moments ago. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. A drive inside over by Hunter. Hunter avoids the defender. Left it short. Gets her own rebound, however. Just a straight hustle play. Jonah Carter now backing up towards the midcourt stripe. Finds a woman alongside the right wing. High arcing three, missed by Hunter. Offensive rebound by Applewhite. And another opportunity here with 15 seconds. As Carter looks back to her head coach, trying to get the call, playing some iso ball, draws three defenders, drops it off. And Carrillo gets her first points there off some terrific shot creation by Jonah Carter. Carter, transferring from CSM, led the Bulldogs in points per game last year. Scored over 600 points in her 2 years at the junior college level. And a terrific looking opportunity there. Safawi sets up Williams, but Williams, the lone player with the made field goal, unable to do it right point blank once more. The paint has just been clogged up exponentially for ArtU tonight. And miscommunications on defense don't help either. Zoe Carrillo gets back-to-back buckets now, and it's 21-6. 7:26 remaining in the second frame. Violet Stutz did a really good job getting to the free throw line. And a foul reaching in the pocket will go against Carrillo. That's the first foul of the second. And Yasmin Safawi, despite the fact that she does not have any points, has done a terrific job tonight just creating opportunities as she gets a breather. Stutz and Safawi come out. In comes back in Alba Rovira Ayuso alongside Lucia Ravenga. Backing their way inside is Williams. Williams into the double team, and the hook shot from right outside the restricted area is true. The lone baskets tonight have come from number 33, Williams. And it's 21-8 now after the scoring drought comes to a close. Fakes the dribble, handoff is Carrillo. Carrillo stopped her dribble, so she has to defer it now. And it's Applewhite with 10 seconds left. Applewhite threads the needle underneath, shot pushed away off the fingertips of Rosette. And the block party is open. Kira Mitchell, man, such an imposing presence in the paint. Mitchell now with 2 blocks. Safawi has one of her own. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Backing her way in is Doherty. To the corner. Ravenga unable to capitalize. So for ArtU, with the main scorer sitting on the bench here, Alberta Frisch, who has 9 points so far. needing to take these moments to try to come back in, but the great ball movement of the Oaks really forcing them to play some tough defense. And a corner swish is good. Gianna Carter talked about her outside shooting percentage a little bit ago. That's only her 6th made three of the year, 16% three-point shooter as the ball is tipped off of the fingertips of Rovira Ayuso. Substitutions on the floor. We'll get you them momentarily as the ball stays with RU. Ravenga, Fernils, joined by Doherty, Ojide Boyko, who currently has 2 fouls, and the inbounds woman, Rovira Ayuso. Those are the 5 for RU. Rovira Ayuso, right hand with the dribble. Back to the basket. Turns the corner and draws the contact. The first foul against the visitors here at the 5:25-minute mark. Foul called against Taylor Westbrook, the freshman out of Los Angeles, California. It will not be a shooting foul, so another baseline inbounds now for Alba Rovira Ayuso. Rovira Ayuso, very high accolades coming to this year. The Offensive Player of the Year in the Pac-West, or pardon me, the Newcomer of the Year, and a Pac-West Player Watch List member. Currently held to 8.9 points per game, 4.7 rebounds. Those are her splits as she's had some troubles. Christy Ojide Boyko, after the foul, will go to the free throw line. And Ojide Boyko, a 50% free throw shooter, will line up her 24th opportunity of the year. First one clanks off the iron. 2 fouls for Ojide Boyko. Rosette was the one that picked up the foul on the last play. And while we have a moment, the lineup right now for the Oaks will be Applewhite with Westbrook as the second free throw goes in. Rosette's out there, and the ball stolen away as Frisch checks back into the game. Good hands in transition there by Fernils. Outside shot, nothing but net. The lid ever so slightly cracking open for RU. It's 24-12. Clawing their way back in, trying to make it a single possession game. A lead pass ahead and off the fingertips of Rovira Ayuso from the pass from Frisch. And a timeout on the floor. Media timeout will take it alongside with them here. 24-12, the advantage for the Oaks here as they open up a double-digit advantage, and they've held on to it up to this point. Clawing back in after finding some success on offense are the Urban Knights.
My name is Trey Elrod, a junior at Academy of Art University. I'm on the men's basketball team, and I am in music production major. Academy of Art, oh man, it's unbelievable. Professors who are professionals themselves in the industry, teaching you, giving you advice on not only the music itself, but also the music industry. Learning from them, this is perfect. Studio grade facilities. It's almost like being in the industry. I performed at South by Southwest, just released a single. Music, art, fashion, whatever it is you want to do creatively,
24-12, the advantage for Menlo College here in their first year at the Division II level. And the inbounders will be Frisch, who leads the scoring on the floor with 9 points. Applewhite with the ball, nearly had the ball turned over. Frisch somehow got it through heavy blockage. And now leaning away with 3 seconds left. It's a missed shot from the left elbow taken by Rosette. Push ahead for Fernils. Now it's Rovira Ayuso, a drive inside, leans it up and in. Finally an opportunity for an and one there, and it's Alba Rovira Ayuso with back-to-back scores for the Urban Knights, making a 10-point advantage here. Ojide Boyko out. In comes Safawi. Opportunity to make it a three-point play the old school way, getting potentially up to 6 points for Alba Rovira Ayuso. Nothing but net on the stroke as well. 1 for 3 from the free throw line, getting back on defense after making a single-digit game at the 4:20 mark. Frisch hasn't scored since she went to the bench momentarily. And Rosette turned the ball over, but it looks like it was touched off the fingertips of a player in white before then. Rovira Ayuso pleading with the officials, but just has to laugh that one off. Inbounds over to Frisch now. Trying to get past the defender in Rovenga, and the ball slipped through the fingertips, rolling on the floor. Applewhite unable to collect it, so a turnover here and an opportunity to keep chopping some wood. When you get in these situations where you fall behind double digits early on, all you have to do is take care of the basketball and just start chopping ever so slightly. A mighty oak tree might stand tall, but if you have an axe and enough effort, you can find a way to chop it down eventually. And an 18-foot jumper inside of the top of the key. It was missed by Rovenga, got her own offensive rebound, but missed at the hoop. Through traffic, Carter, a driving kick, and a right wing three, missed by the Oaks. Lowering their shoulder, getting the contact, Taylor Westbrook goes to the line to shoot two. Trying to bring things back up to double digits is the freshman out of Louisville High School. Averaging 4 points per game. Played 17 minutes in the first matchup between these two schools. Off of an 8-point performance against Biola in the last matchup. First free throw is true. Makes it a 10-point advantage here in that last matchup between the Oaks and Biola. It was a nail-biter that came all the way down to the wire as both the free throws made this time around by Westbrook. And it was a defensive stop after two made free throws for Menlo College that ended them up with the 54-52 win. Different story here tonight as Menlo College with the advantage early and often. Can't even say often because it's been the entirety of the game up to this point, the 16 minutes and 24 seconds. It's 26-15. And I feel like at this point, RU just needs to bite down on the mouthpiece and really just try to keep it at single digits to try to get it to the half. A foul called by the graduate out of Daly City, the transfer from Chabot. That'll be the second foul called against RU. Urban Knights are one foul away from the bonus here. But they have to get a stop with Frisch as the inbounder. Over to the left elbow for Westbrook, and Westbrook fouled on the shot attempt. Hands over her head, Safawi picks up her first. That'll be the third here with 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. And more opportunities for Taylor Westbrook to go to the line to shoot. First free throw, a swish there by Westbrook. And up to this point, the numbers showing 4 for 25 for RU from the floor, only 16%. They played some decent defense here as the second free throw is missed. As they cut down the free field goal percentage for Menlo College down to 40%, which was at 50. Trapped underneath the basket was Rovenga. Offensive rebound, pushes up the three-point shot. And it's Rovira Ayuso all the way up to 9 points now as she ties Frisch up. Two players with 9 points now as it's 27-18. Ball's knocked away in this 9-point advantage for the Oaks. Frisch trying to get her offensive game going with the deep 2-point shot. And just a step inside of the 3-point line, the mid-range J is true. And the first player into double digits is Alberta Frisch, averaging 14 points per game. Already closing in near that number at the half. Outside shot, this one rattles out. Offensive rebound collected by Felch. Felch to Ravenga. Ravenga, too strong. Jesney Cooper with the rebound. A push ahead, a drive to the corner. Defense got there this time around. Reading the pass perfectly. Luthia Ravenga, 35 steals now on the year as her hands have been active in the passing lane. Trying to finish on the other side, going coast to coast, however, is not able to do so, and the advantage remains 9. A wild pass attempt, the ball was knocked away, got her own shot, pass off the deflection, and capitalizing on the 3 was Jordan Rosette. Those are Rosette's first points of the game. Rosette averaging 13 points per game and a very high percentage three-point shooter. Doesn't take too many of them, but when she does, it's effective. On the other side, a perfect swish as Rivera Ayuso has opened things up in the second frame. Back over to a 9-point game. Pardon me, it's actually over to an 11-point game. Makes the defender miss, and a terrific teardrop shot there. 4 points now from Jesney Cooper, the senior guard out of Perth, Australia. Driving the reverse, and Luthia Ravenga finally gets it in the hole. 2 points now for Luthia. Defense finally springs the offense. About a 12-second shot game clock difference here. We need to play some tough defense and try to close things out into single digits to bring it to the half. Rosette, another 3 from the same spots, rattles out. Rebound by Safawi. 20 seconds left. Head coach Jesse Clark for the Urban Knights getting 1 clean play off. Can the Knights cut it down to single digits here? Safawi, Rovera Ayuso, Ravenga now with the ball behind the back. A drive, a floater at the buzzer. Too strong, heel of the iron, miss. And at the halftime break, it's 34 for Menlo College, 23 for the Urban Knights. Let's give you some numbers here, as the field goal advantage has really been the issue for the Urban Knights, doing a terrific job opening up and creating more offensive opportunities with a 32-shot advantage to 29, but it's been the capitalization at the hole for the Urban Knights that has really hindered them. 13 shots made for Menlo College, only 7 made for Art U. Art U sitting at 6% after the first frame, able to get a good job offensively in the second to bring it back down to an 11-point game. So they made 6 shots in that second frame, and a lot of them were three-point shots. And just with the statistics of how we see this game played in this current way of basketball, just having that extra 33% value added to the three-point shot has made the biggest of a difference, as the Urban Knights somehow keep this one close despite the feeling that it's been pretty lopsided because of the 4 for 11 from the field, and it's been the offensive performance this afternoon by Alba Rovira Ayuso to make it happen. And as we dig a little bit deeper into the numbers, one of the things that you'll notice as well, the 16-point lead obviously has been a big thing, but the turnovers, a lot of good defense being played by Art U, forcing 7 turnovers to their 6 right now. And the main thing, as I try to find the turnover statistic here on the live stats, it's all right. Just talked about it moments ago. It was 7-6, but yeah, the main thing now is just seeing if you can take a deep breath, find a way to just compose yourself at the rim and finish. Realistically, only 2 or 3 of the attempts that Art U took at the rack were not terrifically or not great looking shots. So it's just a matter of being able to put everything together. And I mean, it's basketball. You got to put the ball in the basket at the end of the day. So with that, it'll send us to a halftime break here at 12:50 remaining at the half. And it's 34 Menlo College, 23 Urban Knights here. Max Agrest sending you to our halftime break here on Urban Knights TV.
Our customers deserve more than an insurance agency. They deserve a partner, a teammate, a friend in the business. That's why we start with trust. Building a connection with people, laying a foundation, then leveraging our insight, data-driven acumen coupled with unrivaled experience to deliver results. That is the essence of relation. And that is why we're so successful. As long as we stay true to what got us here. Because we believe trust is the foundation of every successful relationship. And whether it's with customers or with each other, relationships matter.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Yeah, my name is Chris Stokes. I'm from London, England. I'm a senior. I study communications and media, and I'm on the men's soccer team. Yeah, I mean, in terms of soccer, I'd say obviously the culture back there is the main sport, so everyone kind of watches it and gets together to watch it. But what I've loved living in America is finding small communities and pockets of San Francisco that love football the same way we do back home. So that's been very, very refreshing. Yeah, I mean, college soccer, college football, it's provided just an enormous amount of experiences that I wouldn't have got if I had stayed at university back home. I moved here in 2020 during the pandemic to Florida at my first college, and then transferred to the West Coast and meet, again, just amazing people from a completely different culture within America. So yeah, I'd advocate for any European thinking about coming over to the States to just do it and dive headfirst into it. You're going to meet amazing people, get so many life experiences, and get to see many, many new things. I'd say dive into every experience that you get, because it is potentially only 4 years. You may stay after, you may not, so make the most of the friendships and the unique relationships you're gonna build, definitely.
Our customers deserve more than an insurance agency. They deserve a partner, a teammate, a friend in the business. That's why we start with trust. Building a connection with people, laying a foundation, then leveraging our insight, data-driven acumen coupled with unrivaled experience to deliver results. That is the essence of relation. And that is why we're so successful. As long as we stay true to what got us here. Because we believe trust is the foundation of every successful relationship. And whether it's with customers or with each other, relationships matter.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
My name is Trey Elrod, a junior at Academy of Art University. I'm on the men's basketball team, and I am in music production major. Academy of Art, oh man, it's unbelievable. Professors who are professionals themselves in the industry, teaching you, giving you advice on not only the music itself, but also the music industry. Learning from them, this is perfect. Studio grade facilities. It's almost like being in the industry. I performed at South by Southwest, just released a single. Music, art, fashion, whatever it is you want to do creatively, it's here.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
It's tonight in San Francisco, but I say hello to you wherever you are in the world.
Control the movement. Cut this excess fabric, just leaving enough seam allowance, whether you're going to find it or create it.
So everything that you add at this point is built on top of the solid structures.
You could be anywhere in the world. This is a great opportunity. Taking virtual classes was awesome.
free to send me an email. I'll do my best to get back to everybody and make sure that we take good care of you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
About 1 minute remaining before the halftime break comes to a conclusion. And as you can see on the board here at Kezar Pavilion, it's 34-23 for the visitors in the Oaks of Menlo College. 13 for 29 field goals, 7 for 33 for RU. And that has been the story. In terms of rebounding, the advantage has gone towards the Academy of Art. In terms of outside shooting, it's actually flipped towards the favor of RU, going 4 for 11 from the field. Pardon me, I misspoke earlier with the rebounds. It's 24-21, but more opportunities here for the Urban Knights. And so really what it comes down to, we talked about this ad nauseum in the first half of play, is the Urban Knights just finding a way to finish at the hole. They've done a terrific job creating shots, driving down the lane, even getting clean looks, but the glass has just not really been a friend, and the lid on the basket has been nearly completely shut for the inside of the paint for RU. And let's see if that can change up here in the second half, as the second half of action comes to an open. Frisch, who had 9 points early on, had 1 point in her second stint on the floor with 11 points. She's trying to get her offensive game going early on, and it was not the sides of the hoop, as Menlo College able to score in their opening possession there. 13 points. Now the leading scorer is Alberta Frisch. Rovira Ayuso, the leading scorer for RU on the other side. And it's an offensive turnover. Ravenga out, Fernils back in. And it was a carry called against Alba Rovira Ayuso. Ayuso, the lone player, really getting her game going in the opening quarter. Went 4 for 7, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. And trying to work inside of the paint, had the ball knocked away. Stutz reverses the floor. She got the offensive game going with the first 4 points of the afternoon. Hasn't found much offensive game since then. Ojide Boyko after the lowered shoulder, and it's an offensive foul called once again on RU. Foul against the Urban Knights, and that is something that really plagued them at the beginning of that first quarter of play. A 2-point advantage throughout the first just about minute of play here for the Oaks. Jasmine Cooper with the crossover. Had the ball knocked away, and trying to save it there was Rovira Ayuso. Stepped on the line. Lining up from the right side of the baseline, inbound it after the turnover, or pardon me, after the knocked away ball. And nearly a turnover, and it is a steal off the fingertips of Ojide Boyko, who got 2 fouls early on. No look pass out to the corner. Fernils, 4-3. Anna Fernils off the dish from Rovira Ayuso, and it's back to a 10-point game. Alberta Frisch had the ball momentarily. Now to the corner, Rosette misses the three. Offensive rebound by Cooper, and Cooper had the shot blocked, but too much body contact underneath for Christy Ojide Boyko as she went for the block. The career blocks leader here at ArtU will have to take a seat here as she picks up her third foul here at the 8:23-minute mark. Yasmin Safawi, the senior out of Madrid, Spain, comes back in as the first free throw rattles in. 5 points now for Cooper as she converts on her first free throw. And so Safawi has been she's had a heck of a game tonight outside of the offensive side of the ball. She's created her shot. She's played some good defense. She's cleaned up the board very well. But the 0 for 4 is really what's been hurting. The pivot's been working. The shot's just not falling. Galloping up the floor is Fernils. Spinning around the block. Now it's Rovira Ayuso. Turnaround three, a high arcer, but it's wide left. Air ball there. And it's back to 12. Frisch jogging down the left side of the floor. Now to Rosette. Rosette's got 5 points, pardon me. She's got 3 points there, and a lean-in basket made by Harper Felch. Rovira Ayuso, ball over the head, over the freshman and Mitchell. 13 seconds left, drive down the right side of the lane, contact, getting to the line. Rovira Ayuso goes to the line. Now give her an opportunity now. And those will be her 4th and 5th attempts of the afternoon now. Corrections here as the last basket for Menlo College was made by Taylor Westbrook as the first free throw on this attempt is missed. Rovira Ayuso, a 67% free throw shooter. Just unable to really cleanly get it down from the stripe tonight. Second free throw finds its way in. 13 points now for the junior out of Valencia, Spain. Back to 13 at the 7:30 mark. Rebounds favoring Menlo College 25-21. O-boards with the advantage for the Urban Knights at 9-7. And a drive inside, a lean in, contact, and the finish. Jesney Cooper. 42-27 advantage for the Oaks. Getting closer to her season average of 9 points is Jesney Cooper. She's been a consistent defender and an offensive contributor for Menlo College this year. And coming off a game where she played every single minute, still has some fresh legs under her as Menlo College played on Thursday, a day off, and now playing ArtU here at the historic Kezar Pavilion. (43-27) now the score, 7:15 remaining. Driving inside, had the ball popped out of her hands was Rovira Ayuso, and now a quick rocket down the floor for Carter. Cooper to the corner, step back three, Frisch left it short. Rovira Ayuso cleaning the glass. Claire Ricard comes in for the first time. The two-sport athlete here at ArtU, transfer from University of St. Thomas. Lean in, the scoop shot. Free throws might not be dropping tonight, but from 15 feet out, the awkward acrobatic finish by Rovira Ayuso makes it 43-29 Oaks. Menlo College, another drive inside. And that is the type of finishing you want to see for the Urban Knights. But instead, it's Cooper getting up to 10 points now, 1 point above her season average. In 40 minutes played, she had 10 points last matchup against Biola. Rovira Ayuso with another triple. 18 points for Alba. She is the leading scorer in the game. Frisch, senior big, a lean inside on the smaller defender and out the outstretched fingertips of Harper Felch. 5 points for Taylor Westbrook. Hand flying through the lane was the freshman Mitchell, and she gets the ball alongside the baseline. A double team here. Left open alongside the left wing, unable to knock down the easy shot there was Rovira Ayuso. Another offensive rebound there and a foul called against Menlo College. And a go against Rosette, and that'll be her second. Substitution will bring in Williams as Kara Mitchell gets the breather after some terrific inside efforts. After the corner for Felch. Felch drives, contact, no call, misses the shot. Up ahead over to Carter. Carter, a drop off, and a wild attempt underneath the basket by Westbrook is picked up by RU. And a drive down the lane, and those are the first points of the afternoon for Lucia Ravenga. Ravenga and Fernils have a very similar style. Just defensive present players. And as I prop up the defense of Ravenga, contact on the shot opportunity, the made basket for Menlo College. And that'll be the third or fourth three-point play of the quarter. And with that, it sends us to our mandatory timeout. 4:47 remaining. The visitors in Menlo College 49, the home team in RU 34 here on Urban Knights TV. Back on the floor here in San Francisco, California at Kezar Pavilion. Max Agrest bringing you the coverage of this doubleheader this afternoon going into your early evening. We're at the edge of Golden Gate Park. And as we come back to the action on the floor, an opportunity for Alberta Frisch to come in and try to complete the three-point play. Unable to connect on the free throw. She's 0 for 2 from the line. However, from the floor, she's 7 for 10. Had the ball knocked away. Over to Felch, doesn't take the three. Instead, a wild pass off the fingertips. Rovira Ayuso able to collect it cleanly. Crossover dribble. Ravenga off the glass. Back-to-back baskets for Ravenga as the Urban Knights make it 49-36, trapped in between the trees, falling to the ground, and a travel called on Menlo College here. Holding her elbow as she fell to the floor was Zoe Carrillo. And a flop warning on Jayona Carter. She does it again. They will call the one-shot technical. Checking in for the first time this half, Maddie Morrow. So some more outside presence for RU on the floor. Morrow, a Pac-West All-Academic player from last year. It's been a good 3-and-D presence in her time playing. Claire Ricard back on the floor for the Urban Knights as well. Underneath the basket, leans up, the shot from the right hip. Ricard gets the rebound. Looking like she's going up there ready to spike the ball as one of the premier outside hitters for RU this year. And Morrow on the attack inside, the cut shot missed. And a block on the other side by Rovira Ayuso as Cooper had the block, or had her shot blocked. Cooper has had a very high usage rate of 30% up to this point. It's really been all her and Frisch this game for Menlo College. Ricard pump fakes from three. Lowers the shoulder. Hand off over to Williams, and Williams tries to find Ravenga. Extra rotation, 3 seconds left. Maddie Morrow unable to complete. Offensive rebound by Williams. Williams back over to Morrow, and Morrow from point blank capitalizes. Maddie Morrow now with her first 2 points, coming off a game where she was tied for the score lead at 9 points. And that'll be a big offensive weapon if RU can get her going. Nearly an answer, but instead hopping on 1 foot after the missed shot from Frisch. Up ahead, Ravenga. Cherry picking. Defense got there, but a nice reverse. Maddie Morrow with 4 points now and back-to-back baskets, and it's a 9-point game. 6-0 run here for RU as it's 49-40 now. And the answer potentially coming from the free throw line as Jayona Carter makes a very veteran play for a junior out of Oakland, California. When momentum starts flowing one direction, one thing you can do to slow things up is get to the free throw line, slow down the game, and try to get some points without the clock running. The 47% free throw shooter goes to the line to shoot 2. She's had 1 successful attempt on the afternoon so far. Kira Mitchell, Amelia Doherty as the first free throw is missed. Kira Atua Williams. Now, and give you the last few players, Ravenga and Stutz, as we get another stoppage in play. So a quick timeout on the floor, and we'll take it as well here. 2:19 remaining. It's back to a single possession game, 49-4.
It's tonight in San Francisco, but I say hello to you wherever you are in the world.
Control the movement. Cut this excess fabric, just leaving enough seam allowance, whether you're going to find it or create it.
So everything that you add at this point is built on top of the solid structures.
You could be anywhere in the world. This is a great opportunity. Taking virtual classes was awesome.
Feel free to send me an email. I'll do my best to get back to everybody and make sure that we take good care of you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
49-20 our score here with 2:19 remaining in the third quarter of play, a quarter in which RU has been able to cut it down to single possessions, but an opportunity to try to bring it up to a 10-point game for Jayona Carter as she misses her first free throw. As of this point, it's 29-27 rebound advantage favoring RU. The biggest issue tonight has been the finishing at the rack as the second free throw is missed by Carter. She is 1 for 3 now as the rebound brought in by Fernils. Trapped at midcourt, lobs the ball over the top. Able to break the press was Williams. But finishing up my point, it's just been finishing with the field goals for RU as the ball's knocked away. Turnovers hasn't necessarily been the biggest of an issue, but we're seeing the ugly head that has been peeking its way out this whole entire season on display once more. Averaging 20 turnovers per game are RU. And as of this point, that'll be their 10th. But the advantage for Menlo grew quite a bit as they were shooting upwards of 50% to the 7% of RU early on. A three-point shot there by Frisch off the heel of the iron. Williams able to save it as it goes out of bounds. Really good effort play there by the redshirt freshman. But finishing up my point momentarily, since then, aren't you doing some good job creating some offense as they went on a 6-0 run? And now it's 19 for 44. Menlo College 14 for 46. More opportunities and starting to find some opportunities to finish at the hole for the Urban Knights. Fernales with one of those opportunities once more as the ball flies in front of us. Nearly knocks down our mixer here, but no harm, no foul. 1:12 remaining. Substitution here as Williams comes back out. Or pardon me, she'll actually come here to inbound it right in front of us. A lot of hectic action here, but fortunately we got some pretty robust gear. Williams, pass over to the freshman and Mitchell. Mitchell turns around and gets it back over to Doherty. Fernales whips it over to Williams. Williams converts on the three, but instead it's an offensive foul called against Kira Mitchell. The freshman out of Fountain, Colorado, wipes off 3 points. That would have been a big basket to bring it into a two-possession game here with 49 seconds, but now needing another defensive stop. Underneath the basket, ball poked away. Fernales with another steal. Lob pass ahead, and the lead pass off the hands of Menlo College. Possession will stay with the Urban Knights. 35.3 seconds remaining here in the third, 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Safawi back onto the floor for the Urban Knights. And in this quarter, aren't you able to come back shooting 50%, their best offensive quarter of the game so far? And the ball was actually last touched off of a RU player, not a Menlo College player. But it's 7-14, the field goal advantage for RU to the 6 for 12 for Menlo College. So despite the fact that both teams are shooting fairly well in the quarter, it's been the 2 for 5 from the outside range that has helped RU come back in. And a three-point shot there taken by Rosette, too strong. Knocked down one right wing three in the second quarter, but since then unable to convert in a half-court heave off the glass, missed by Fernales. And honestly, not a bad spot to be in. It's felt like the boulder has been sitting on your shoulders all night long, but at this point, it's a 9-point game, only single possessions, and you've got the momentum coming on your side here going into the fourth quarter. It'll be an interesting way to see how RU is able to clean things up and close things out here in the fourth quarter as they try to overcome this 9-point lead with 10 minutes remaining on Urban Knights TV. Williams back on the floor as the Urban Knights with a 9-point, trailing by 9 points, I should say, comes out on the floor and trying to close things out this afternoon at Kezar Pavilion. Williams, who has had a great night tonight, got the offense started on the outside, and Safawi has the ball knocked out of her hands, out of bounds after the missed shot, and the possession will stay with the Urban Knights. So it's Safawi joined alongside Doherty. She's with Fernales, Maddie Morrow, and the last player on the floor is Williams. Inbounds pass gets kicked off the leg of Alberta Frisch, who has 15 points. She's the leading scorer for the Oaks. Leading scorer of the game is Rovira Ayuso with 18. And Williams flips it over the left wing for her big. Handoff back to the basket. Williams Spins, turns, gets through the double team and powers through for the basket. 7 points for Williams. Williams now 3 for 5 from the floor. Pump fakes from 3 is Hunter, and Hunter with the sidestep. Splash. 5 points now for the 38% three-point shooter, and it's back to a 10-point advantage. You need a basket here to try to bring some of the momentum back on your side. No-look pass. Safawi under the basket. Moved her feet too much cha-cha, and a turnover on Yasmin. Alberta Frisch comes off. Coming back onto the floor is Taylor Westbrook. And so these are the minutes that you really have to capitalize. Frisch with 15 points, only about 4 points here in the second half of play. But with her off the floor, the spacing changes a little bit. Hunter answers with a 3. If you can get outside shooting from other places, you don't have to worry about your number one scorer getting some breathers on the bench. And what's helped RU in the second was their outside shooting, or pardon me, the third quarter was the outside shooting. But here, as they fight through, contact in the basket, Anna Fernils with an unbelievable scoop shot. (44-55), trying to make it back to a 10-point game. Anna Fernils with 6 points. The sophomore out of New York Military Academy by way of Manresa, Spain. Knocks down the free throw shot as well. It's back 45-55. Dribble drive as substitutions come back in. Rovira Ayuso back on the floor for RU. It's Carter with the handle. Westbrook. Over to Carter. Had her shot blocked. Ravenga was there to send it away. Coming away from the pack, it's Fernils. Fernils one-on-one. Hacked down to the floor. Another 2 shots from the line coming her way. Fernils 1 for 1 from the line after that last made shot. And the block party has been open tonight for RU. First free throw made, and it's back to a single-digit lead for Menlo College. Rattles out the second attempt, an offensive rebound knocked out of bounds. Good activity underneath by Safawi. The block advantage for RU up to this point, 6-3. And that's part of the reason why they've been able to manufacture more shot attempts. 5 more in this matchup so far. An offensive foul before the inbounds. And a turnover. (13 turnovers on the Urban Knights. That'll be their 14 to the 12 of Menlo College. Both these teams turning it over upwards of 15 times per game. But in that third quarter, it was really some stout defense and taking care of the ball that helped RU bring this back in. And a reach-in called against Williams. Kaira Aatua called for the reach-in. Whips the ball inside over to Rosette, and Rosette unable to get an opportunity, but now the hot hand and Hunter. She's on fire. 3 threes made in this fourth quarter as she's up to 11 points. An answer, but instead a turnover. Rosette with the steal, up ahead. It's to Cooper, sidestep inside, good hands to poke the ball away for Rovira Ayuso. But the ball remains with the Oaks. The 12-point advantage, utilizing the time, trying to run as much off the clock as possible are the Oaks here under the tutelage of Shannon Spataro. 5 seconds left. Doesn't elect to take the three, pushes the defender down, a late whistle, but they will call the travel. Surprised that wasn't an offensive foul. But regardless, possession will go to the side that we expected it to. Christy Ojide Boyko has 1 point on her first free throw attempt. Hasn't been too big of a factor as we expected to really see. And she had to sit with 3 fouls early on, picked up 2 of them in the first. And Lucia Rovenga, a nice drive to make it back 58-48. 6:20 remaining in this final quarter. And a foul on the drive. And an opportunity for Carter to shoot 2. Missed her last 2 free throws in a similar position. Just when it seems like the Urban Knights have an opportunity to try to cut back into this lead, it seems like Menlo College just senses it and gets to the free throw line. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to finish. Last foul was called against Ravenga. That is her 3rd. And the second free throw, nothing but net. Calibrates on that opportunity. She has 2 made free throws here. Nearly a turnover as the ball was into the hands of Rosette, but it looks like Rosette stepped out of bounds as she got the interception. Yasmin Sufawi now for the trigger. Full court pressure brought on by the Oaks. Sufawi up ahead. Ojide Boyko pass inside, and the layup is good. Tic-tac-toe. Rovira Ayuso with the basket, 59-50. Oaks have the advantage. A quick answer potentially there by Cooper. Cooper driving kick around the perimeter. And missing the 3 this time is Applewhite. Brought in by Fernils. Fernils through traffic, has a good shot at the lane. Foul as the basket hits the bottom of the net. Cooper called for the foul. And a terrific job on the screen assist there by Yasmin Safawi. I guess it's not necessarily a screen assist if the basket didn't go, but had her woman underneath the basket, backed her way inside, opened up the lane. Fernils unable to finish, but an opportunity to try to cut it down to 7 here. Momentum sliding in the favor of the team in white. Let's see if they can continue to capitalize here as Fernils now with 8. Fernils, back-to-back free throws are good. Timeout on the floor as the Urban Knights cut it down to 7 after 2 made free throws by Anna Fernils. 59, Oaks 52, Urban Knights with 5:40 remaining here on Urban Knights TV.
Yeah, my name is Chris Stokes. I'm from London, England. I'm a senior. I study communications and media, and I'm on the men's soccer team. Yeah, I mean, in terms of soccer, I'd say obviously the culture back there is the main sport, so everyone kind of watches it and gets together to watch it. But what I've loved living in America is finding small communities and pockets of San Francisco that love football the same way we do back home. So that's been very, very refreshing. Yeah, I mean, college soccer, college football, it's provided just an enormous amount of experiences that I wouldn't have got if I had stayed at university back home. I moved here in 2020 during the pandemic to Florida at my first college, and then transferred to the West Coast and meet, again, just amazing people from a completely different culture within America. So yeah, I'd advocate for any European thinking about coming.
5:40 remaining after the media time out, and it's 59 Menlo College, 52 Academy of Art, as Academy of Art has done a great job here in this fourth quarter of play, cutting into the lead of Menlo College and trying to get back over to 500. It's 12-10, the advantage leading Art U in this half. And despite the fact that it's been a 3-for-4 outing in this fourth quarter for Menlo College, Art U firing it away to continue to claw back into this lead. Missed shot. Ojide Boyko over to get the rebound and the foul all the way across the floor. 92 feet away from the other side of the basket. It's the fourth foul, so if Art U can get into the get into the bonus here, they might have an opportunity to just slow down this game, grind it down, and get some points from the stripe. Traditionally not a great free throw shooting team at 60%, but as basketball goes, that is typically the way you want to play this out. Whipping a pass to a cutting player, and it's Ravenga flipping it up and in. Rovira Ayuso with the assist. Ravenga now with 8 points. Over to a 5-point game. Blocking foul called against the Academy of Art. It'll go against Ravenga as that is her fourth. One more before she fouls out. Four fouls apiece on both sides, one away from the bonus. 20 seconds left on the shot clock with 4:42 remaining. Carter with the crossover. And comes back over to Cooper. Cooper lowers the shoulder. Ball still popped up in the air. Ravenga fouled 94 feet away from the basket. And that'll give her an opportunity to go to the line. Ravenga, a 57% free throw shooter. But this is how you have it written. Get to the free throw line, stop the clock, and get untimed opportunities to score some points. Frisch back into the game for Menlo College, the #1 offensive option, as the first free throw is missed. In this situation, you've liked the lineups that you put on the floor, but I think one of the substitutions as the second free throw is up and in. 9 points now for Ravenga. So one of the change-ups that Jesse Clark might start to put out there is possibly some of the more physical slashing players that can get to the line and capitalize here, as it's up to a 4-point game. Stepping into a deep two, nothing but money there from the top of the key. And that is why you bring Frisch back in. Able to get the answer, making it back to a 6-point game. Ravenga looking for a screen. Stops her dribble. Over to Rivera Ayuso, who hasn't had much offense going here in the fourth. Turn around. The right side hook shot from 14 feet out. 22 points for Alba Rovira Ayuso. 61-57. Urban Knights trailing, trying to get into this one. Out to the corner. Three off the front of the iron. Boxing out. Let's see who was last touched off of. And it looks like the possession will be retained by Menlo College. Amelia Doherty, the graduate transfer from Chabot College, back onto the floor. Getting Rivera Ayuso a breather here as she comes gingerly off the floor. That is a big loss there. She has been the #1 offensive option on either side. And a turnover on the inbounds play. Menlo College executed so well to finish out that last matchup against Biola College. But now, mistakes after mistakes, giving an opportunity for the Urban Knights to slash their way inside. The Knights have used an axe as their weapons as they've hacked away at the Oaks. And now, a 4-point game. It's Doherty. Gets the defender, blows by her. 16-foot straightaway jumper. And a fight underneath the basket after the missed shot. Ball's tipped nearly out of bounds. And a timeout taken by Menlo College here, and we'll keep it here for the timeout here with 3:07 remaining in this 4-point advantage. It's 17-12, the advantage for the Urban Knights here in the second. And after missing nearly every opportunity in the first quarter, 6 for 8 from the floor are the Urban Knights. And they've done it in a few different ways tonight. It started out early on with the outside shooting, really keeping them into this one. But now it's been packing the paint, fighting hard underneath, and capitalizing on opportunities to give yourself a way to come back into this one and potentially steal the victory away after trailing by as much as 16 points. 24 points in the paint here. (57-61). The possession being saved by that timeout there, as Frisch brings it across the floor with 3 minutes remaining. A clutch time game in this situation here. It's Aaliyah Hunter. Over to Applewhite, spinning her way inside, trying to fight through contact, can't finish. And it's Ojide Boyko with the rebound. Ojide Boyko, only her second rebound of the game. Doherty pump fakes from 3. Clears out some space, had the ball swatted away. Met at the top of her shot as the block was made by Rosette. And every opportunity matters up to this point. Very little room for error, trailing by 2 possessions here with 2:20 remaining. Ball in the hands of Frisch as Harper Felch knocks the ball away, but the ball will stay with Menlo College with 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Felch has been inserted for some good effort minutes, and that's exactly what she's done. This is the type of foul you can't have. Harper Felch picks up the foul, and it'll give an opportunity to go to the free throw line for Menlo College. Just 2 players getting caught up with their hips, and the offensive prowess on full display on and off the ball for Alberta Frisch. Harper Felch comes out, and it's Ravenga, Ojide Boyko, alongside Fernils Sufawi and Amelia Doherty on the floor for Academy Art. First free throw in. 5-point game. Trying to make it a 6-point advantage here from the line. Second free throw, nothing but net. 19-point advantage here. And she was 0 for 2 from the line previous to that. Able to capitalize in a huge moment. Getting up to 19 points now. Still a 2-possession game. The outside shots have not necessarily been the game here for RU in the in the fourth quarter. And especially with Rivera Ayuso a little shaken up on the last play. Let's see if they can spring some offense from beyond the arc. An offensive foul on the moving screen. Sufawi's called for it. And she is hurt on the floor, holding her lower appendage. That is not what you want to see here. Hasn't necessarily had the stats that you want tonight, but she's fought so darn hard. The definition of doing everything that doesn't necessarily show up on the box score. So the freshman, Kira Mitchell, will come in for this senior. Mitchell has had a pretty terrific game defensively. So let's see. Still a 6-point game with 1:49 remaining. Need to play this one out nearly perfectly for RU. Alberta Frisch trying to close things out. And an offensive foul on a moving screen called against Taylor Westbrook. And clock saved on the floor now. Anna Fernils checks back in. Offense for defense. Maddie Morrow's going to come back in as well. Morrow's played limited minutes in this one. Morrow only checking in 7 minutes tonight, but as one of the better outside shooters, we've seen her light the board up many times. Rovenga, the crossover, step back, doesn't take the three, works around a screen, nearly loses the handle. Over to Morrow, doesn't settle for the three, instead works inside. Finding the cutting, Rovenga. Oh. Cannot get the basket to go, but a terrific sellout on defense. Ojide Boyko gets the steal, delivers it, and Fernils with the basket. 4-point game. Hectic clapping from Jesse Clark, the head coach of the Urban Knights. He's nearly willing his team back. Under 1 minute to play. Frisch to Cooper. 7 seconds left. Turns around, she doesn't see the shot clock, nearly turns the ball over. Now it's Frisch running in, driving. The leading shot from the right elbow, misses the shot, and a foul underneath the basket. Offensive rebound. Taylor got the rebound, put it up. And an unbelievable play there. Ugh. Just some bang, bang plays underneath the basket. A 4-point game, so it's still a 2-possession opportunity, even if Westbrook is able to knock down both these free throws. And the first one is true. Westbrook all the way up to 6 points now. Got a lot of work done inside of that paint on the free throw line. Westbrook capitalizing on both the opportunities here. And a timeout to draw an offensive play as we keep it here. And actually, we'll send it to a timeout here as it's a full timeout instead. 65-59. This fourth quarter has been oh so tight, but just every opportunity to close it out. The Oaks have found a way to keep it within arm's reach here on Urban Knights TV.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to like experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativity.
Back on the floor here, it's a 6-point game as the advantage favors the Oaks here. The most dangerous person in this position is the inbounder in Rovira Ayuso, needing a 3-point shot and needing it quickly. Rovenga out to the left wing. Williams for three, drains it! Williams now with 10 points, started the game with the triple, and now you need a defensive stop or a foul. A reach in called for the fouls, Matty Morrow. And in that position, you got the three you needed. Now you need 2 missed free throws, or you need to play this game. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Shannon Spataro starts fouling on the other side as both teams are in the bonus. An opportunity to try to get upwards of 20 points now for Frisch. She's got 20. An offensive display from number 6 in blue. Having a heck of a night. Second free throw up and in as well. 21 points now as RU sprints down the floor with 21 seconds remaining. Trailing by 5. From the left wing, it's Rovenga. Rovenga to the right wing. Rovira Ayuso drives forward, comes back, step back, 3-point shot. High arcing 3. 25 points. Now you've got a foul. Up ahead, the 3-quarter court pressure couldn't quite get there in time. Hitting the floor in frustration is Rovira Ayuso. But now with 5.7 seconds remaining, no timeouts left. You cannot advance the ball regardless. Rosette to the free throw line, the 74% free throw shooter. Trying to extend this up to 4 points. You need a split or 2 misses now. And the first free throw, nothing but net. Rosette hasn't necessarily had the best offensive game, averaging 13 points per game, but she's been a good contributor everywhere else. Knocks down both the free throws in a massive moment here. And now you sprint down the floor. You got to get a 3-point shot. You got to draw some contact behind the back dribble. And a right-handed hook shot will find the bottom of the net to cut down the score. But a little too little, a little too late. It's a 2-point possession at the end of the play. And man, what a nail biter towards the end of this one. They're going to review it to see if that last shot was good or not. And the final shot will stand true. 69 for Menlo College, 67 for Art U. And a first quarter that really hindered the academy at Art Urban Knights. They tried their best to fight through. It was the outside shooting of Williams and Rovira Yuso. But in the clutch moments, another clutch victory for the Oaks of Menlo College here as they advance to 13-9 on the year. Academy at Art falls to 10 for 11. Rovira Yuso with a terrific night of 25 points. Man, she can ball. But unfortunately for the Urban Knights, they dug themselves in a little too much of a hole, falling behind all the way up to 16 points in the first quarter of play. And trying to play catch-up ball only takes you so far as the Oaks stand tall. Not enough hacks of the tree with the axe of the Urban Knights. And that brings us to a close of the end of our first half of a doubleheader. Don't go anywhere. We've got second half action coming up as the men's teams take the floor now, as the Urban Knights men's team, as I pull out my other boards here, come onto the floor. And we've got a great matchup as the 9-11 Menlo College Oaks men's side take on the 13-7 Academy of Arts Urban Knights on the other side of this break.